Winners and losers from MLB's opening day. The 2019 season has now begun for every team. For some, things were generally great for the New York Mets. A big off-season, things didn't go quite as well for the AL's best pitcher in 2018. The Chicago Cubs. These were the winners and losers from MLB opening day. Winner Robinson Cano starts Mets' career on right foot. More than anything else, opening day represents an opportunity to start fresh. Nobody needed that. Loser Zach Greinke gets shelled by his former team. The Los Angeles Dodgers hit an opening day record 8 home runs against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Half of those came. Winner Lorenzo Cain saves opening day thriller. At the plate, Cain went 1 for 4 and scored on a home run from Christian Yelich. But where he really loser Giants come up short in support of Madison Bumgarner. Bumgarner allowed 2 runs on 5 hits with a walk and 9 strikeouts against the San Diego Padres. Unfortunately, winner Cubs stars shine in blowout win. The big bats of the Chicago Cubs excelled against the Texas Rangers. Javier Baez. Loser Andrew Cashner gets rocked early in the Bronx. The Baltimore Orioles, losing 7-2 to the New York Yankees. Cashner start. Winner Jose Berrios masterful against Indians. The Minnesota Twins scored only 2 runs against the Cleveland Indians on Thursday. But thanks to Jose, loser Blake Snell's Cy Young defense gets off to rocky start. The Tampa Bay Rays staked the reigning AL Cy Young Award winner to an early lead in the Houston Astros, but it didn't last long. Snell surrendered. Winner Phillies break out the bats in blowout win. Overshadowing Bryce Harper's debut with the Philadelphia Phillies was going to be hard. But as his teammate, loser Chris Sale shelled in Seattle. Sale's opening day outing against the Seattle Mariners did not last long. The Boston Red Sox winners Jacob deGrom and Max Scherzer put on pitching classic. The matchup between the pitchers who have combined to win the last 3 NL Cy Young Awards had potential to be special heading into opening day. It was. Related slideshow. The 2019 MLB season provided by M&A.
Raindrop, drop top, smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that. Looking up, open the park pot.